Hi everyone, this is Laura Eaton with Ultimate, and I'm going to show you how to do an at-home facial with microneedling and the copper peptide, which is GKU-CU. This is a big trend now because copper, so microneedling creates little micro injuries to the skin, little channels. And then applied topically, the copper peptide helps to build new collagen type 1 and 3 and elastin. It helps to improve fine lines and wrinkles, give you a more even glow. And I even think it helps my Botox last longer. So what you're going to do is you're going to assemble the items that are in your kit. And this is your microneedling dermal stamp. You remove the cap and place it on a clean paper towel. Then you're going to take your vial of the copper peptide, an alcohol pad, and a couple of insulin syringes. You want to start with clean, dry skin. You're going to take the alcohol wipe, clean the top of the vial, remove the orange caps on the backs of the insulin syringes, and discard them. You're going to draw up about 60 units of the copper peptide. So you're going to just turn the vial upside down and pull back on the plunger. And be patient because sometimes it comes out slowly. So this is a 30 unit insulin syringe I'm using here. And when it's full, I will move on to the next one. And I always add air to my vial because the vials always are air hungry. So for the amount that I'm going to withdraw from the vial, I add that much air. And it makes it come out so much easier. So I'm going to have probably a total of about 50 or 60 units of the copper peptide. Now you can place this aside and you'll want to refrigerate this so you can use it again in the future. All right, the first thing you're going to do is use your dermal stamper. Now, we're going to use it very lightly on the forehead because the skin on the forehead is very thin. So you're going to adjust the needles on the back end of the stamper. There's an adjustable needle depth. So you want to adjust it to the lowest setting, not 0, but about 1, I would say, for the forehead. There we go. And next thing you're going to do is you're going to stamp. And you're just going to lightly press. These are titanium needles. Doesn't even hurt. Just lightly stamping with slight overlap of the rows on my forehead. I go very gently on the forehead. Now I'm going to not inject the copper peptide with this needle. I'm just going to drip it onto the area that I'm treating. I'm going to drip some onto my forehead. I'm going to rub it in with clean hands. And then I'm going to stamp one more time, go in the opposite direction. So if before you stamped holding the stamper this way, this time you're going to stamp the opposite direction. Again, slight overlap. And the needle depth of 1 for the forehead. You don't want to be so deep that you're bleeding. So just have a slight redness. So now I'm going to turn up the needle volume to do my cheeks. I'm going to do a needle length of about 2.5. And what I'm going to do is do my cheeks one at a time. So I create the micro channels with the dermal stamper. I would say the pain is like a 2 or a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. So I created some channels Now I'm going to drip some copper peptide onto my cheek. And I got a little in my hand here. Rub it in. Maybe a little bit more. And I'm going to stamp the opposite direction. Again, 2.5 is my setting, but yours might be more or less. It's up to what you can tolerate, but you don't want really pinpoint bleeding. You just want mild erythema, redness. Okay, so that's my first cheek. Then I'm going to move on to my second cheek. This is really quick. You can do this like once a week. And your skin will be so bright and glowing and healthy, and you'll have a deeper dermis. You'll have less wrinkles. And now I'm going to sprinkle my copper peptide into my treatment area. Okay. And now I'm going to go the opposite direction, overlapping slightly. Now these little channels will stay open for about 6 hours. So you don't want to apply anything that's going to get dirty into your, I'm going to apply a little more since I have it here. So you can put like an exosome on top of this, and maybe some moisturizer, and definitely sunblock if you're going outside. But you don't want to be putting on any makeup for at least 6 hours, because these are little channels. You want to keep those clean. So for the chin, I'm going to turn the dial down of the needle depth to about a 2, I guess. A little less than the cheeks. Hurts a little more. Maybe I'll go to 1.5. And I'm going to put some copper peptide on my treatment area. And I'm going to go really gently, because I was really kind of feeling that one for my repeat. Second pass. Okay, we're also going to do the nose. And above the lip. And apply the peptide. Massage it into the treatment area. And you can keep adding more. If you have product left in the syringe, just add more. Use it all up, don't waste it. I really don't like to do my neck, because the skin is very thin. My skin is very thin. So I'm gonna just, you know what, I'm going for it. I'm gonna use all of it. Okay, and if there are any areas I missed, looks pretty good. Now I'm going to let this dry. And before I put my stamper away, I'm going to turn the needles all the way to full, which is a 3.0. I'm going to run hot water and soapy water over the needles. Then I'm going to let them air dry. And then you can also put 70% alcohol. Pour it over the needles. Again, let it dry. And before you put the cap on, you turn the needles down to 0. Recap. Save. You can recap these little needles and safely discard them at home. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, my favorite next layer, is Plated by Brianna Aesthetics. And this is a exosome serum made from human platelet extract. This is a new vial, so I have to prime it. I'm really just going to use 2 little pumps. This is a Plated Daily. And this is part of my skincare routine. I apply it every night before bedtime. And I let it dry. And I go to bed. And I wake up the next morning and all I do is splash some cold water on my face. And my skin feels like a baby's butt. So I have a really simple skincare routine. All I use is plated and a gentle cleanser at night and to remove my makeup. And then in the morning, I don't use foundation. I actually just use tinted sunblock. And one of my favorite ones is the Elastin. This is the Hydrotent Pro Mineral Sunscreen, SPF 36. And it's very nice. Now I'm going to let the plated dry. And I'm going to wake up looking beautiful. I hope you enjoy your peptide kit.